Of the 32 teams who entered DreamHack Valencia, now on Championship Sunday, only 8 remain. But within those rosters lie a redeemed RLCS team with their second top 8 international performance. A North American legend competing for his last chance at ever raising a trophy. And of course, your 2 most recent reigning world champions. Hello and welcome to the final day here at DreamHack Valencia. I am your host, Wade Dreadnought Penfold, and I will be guiding you here through all of the action here today. And of course, up at the desk with me, I've got myself Randy Gibbons, and I'm not going to mess this one up. It, in fact, is Isaac Turtle Apps. Guys, how are you feeling after day number 2 here?
Well, I'm feeling good now with that great intro. I am feeling great. It's going to be fun, man, because it's all about day 3 where... Like, this was a gauntlet for these 8 teams that are left, but there was some second chances. Not anymore at this point. We're just in bracket where winner go home every single match. It's going to be so much fun.
New rosters have done so well, all these new players coming in, but also, like you said, the reigning champions proving to be consistent, showing that if you make it and you become a champion, you can continue that grind and stay consistent. So it's great to see. I'm so excited for day 3.
Yeah, I'm super looking forward to the performance and games that we're going to get out today. And one team that I think a lot of people question, would they show up, would they not show up, what do we expect from them? It's got to be Randy Gibbons River Rats. They're here in day number 3, placing in top 4.
The coach.
They are a top 4 team in the world right now. I think that's how this works, right? Because, you know, everyone that is good, like every single team here is amazing at Rocket League, and the River Rats are top 4. They are 4-0 so far, only 3 others.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
And Corrupted G, proven to be a LAN player. Corrupted Gibbs, sorry. That's what you want me to call him, right? I talked to him yesterday. He said he just, for whatever reason, performed so well on LAN. The past DreamHack, we saw him in Classics come in being a dynamic duo. They're coming in again, and this time with a super sub Turbo.
But first, we got to take a glance at our groups here to figure out what all unfolded yesterday here, because there was a lot of Rocket League action.
Yeah, speaking of Turbo on the River Rats, also, like, his old team, Dignitas, they didn't make it through, so... Turbo's still alive, Violent Panda is not, but on the other side, Group B is where it got a little interesting, right?
Yeah.
We had the large 4, I guess we're calling it, from North America. G2 and Rogue, they got bounced out, and Europe is making a little bit of a bounce back with Barcelona plus Complexity making it through.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Cloud9 at all on stream yet, but they're still so dominant and consistent here, and I want to see them on that stage and see how they perform, but, I mean, it's going to be no surprise. They're always so consistent and strong on LAN.
And though we can see through that groups there, the end results out of yesterday, I want to know on a matchup level, was there anything looking at yesterday that is the, you know, if you didn't catch it yesterday, you need to see it, or there was a really big improvement from either side of the battlefield here?
You have to watch Energy versus Triple Trouble, because it could have been Fireburner's very last series. And it was not even close. Energy absolutely dominated. But this goal just sums up Fireburner's career. Like, Garrett, he just has a lot of garbage in front of the net. Fireburner's like, don't worry, I will clean it up every single time.
Yeah, and any new player coming into the scene, the one person and the name you're constantly going to see and look up to is going to be Fireburner. He's a veteran here. He's retiring now and trying to go out with a huge bang.
And he still got it. Like, look at that pass and play from Garrett, and then Fireburner, the perfect aerial for the upper 90 shot. And, of course, this was game 3. Fireburner scores the 2 goals in regulation. Then it goes to overtime, and who does it but Fireburner, passing it out to Justin to get the goal. And Energy, they're here. They're going to play Vitality, the world champs.
I find it only very, very fitting that every single one of those replays either sits with it watching Fireburner score the goal or giving the assist over to somebody else to put it in the back of the net.
He's still got it, man, and he's retiring, but he could easily be playing on some other big NA team.
Exactly. His decision-making is on par with the best right now. He's already still on top of North America. He's retiring as the #1 team coming out of North America, and he's going out swinging.
Yeah, the guy has never really found himself much lower than the first place position there within North America. But what about on your side here, Turtle? Was there a matchup out of yesterday that is a must-see?
For me, the must-see matchup was Veloce versus the Bricks, trying out the new Alot addition to the Bricks roster. And Veloce putting up a huge fight towards the beginning. Niels Cook coming in, and Flame was the man of this roster.
But this play, I thought it was over for the Bricks. Like, Cook's here. This is game 2, a close game. Wide open net miss, and Flame picks up the dribble. Perfect flick, and that's what you have to worry about with Flame. And Veloce, they go up 2-0 in the series, and we thought they would get their revenge from the promotion tournament.
Yeah, and Flame was involved with 6 out of 8 goals, but then all of a sudden, the shift in momentum
dunk by
was
a lot.
huge.
That was crazy, and then, then the Bricks, not only was it a reverse sweep, they also had to break momentum because of the intermission, and they still pull off It was insane, and another reverse sweep for them. They did it back in DreamHack Leipzig as well to make it to day 3, and they're here again.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting that what we end up getting out from them. But, we'll get to the bracket in a moment here, but knowing the teams that we have coming out today, I just want to say, as an overarching kind of perspective, was there something that you're really looking forward here? I can't help but feel like for me, it's got to be, is Barcelona going to show up? Did we get day 2 Barcelona? Did we get day 1? What about for you guys?
The River Rats, I'm always going to be watching them.
Yeah.
And obviously NRG, right? Everyone wants to see Fireburner make it all the way to that grand finals, and that would be a sight to see.
Yeah.
Because they're going to play a Vitality that's 12-0 so far.
Yeah, for me, it's the Bricks. They have been so weird to me. It's like one series we see them pop off and do amazing, and then the next it's a lot and speed, don't really know what they're doing. Cooks here doesn't know how to fall into place. But when they're all matching and on the same page, they are so deadly.
Yeah, that's a really good point that you bring up. It does feel like some of the teams have maybe struggled with some consistency, like you said there with the Bricks, and I definitely feel like that of Barcelona, one of the more respected teams out of EU, and then definitely struggling on our opening day here. But we need to take a glance at our bracket here today, so you at home know all the action going to unfold here on Championship Sunday.
A lot of familiar names. We have 2 teams that made it to the DreamHack Dallas top 8, and then the other 6 were just at the World Championship. So all these teams have so much experience in big games, and we're going to see, it's just one day, who's playing the best on day 3.
Yeah, and PSG especially, the dark horse, always living in the shadow, going up against Cloud9. I'm looking forward to that match as well. We haven't really talked that much about PSG right now, but Chaussette coming in huge, being just a dynamic man on a roster.
He is making a case for top 5 in the world, absolutely. But then you look at Complexity and River Rats. Complexity do it again. They're back in the top 8. And the River Rats, who made it to top 4 last night with Crypty and Classics, playing with Turbo.
Yeah.
No practice, obviously, because it's a cross-region, but they're still here.
Yeah, on the note of Chaussette, as a guy maybe studying more recently, watching his gameplay, there's a lot of hype around that name. And I was honestly feeling as though, I missed the mark. I'm not sure why everybody's getting behind him, but his performance at this tournament, I've eaten my words very, very quickly. The guy has absolutely stepped up.
Yeah, he's been kind of in a slump, not even like a slump over the past year, but before that, he was also known as one of the world's best. And now he's back up top, and that's why PSG is looking so good. Yeah, PSG really unfolding here. But it's important to note for everybody at home, this may be our bracket, but it is not the schedule unfolding here today. We will take a glance at that in a moment here as what is going to be unfolding. Oh, I was told that was actually the order. Never mind, I'm incorrect. So apparently they fixed it, and there was no schedule there. One note, though, for the quarterfinals, it is all best of 5, and then we move on to best of 7s for the semis and finals. So it'll be short series at the start, so you have to start off hot. After that, a little bit longer so you can get your wheels under you.
Yeah, it's important that you start off today, I feel like, on the right set of your axles, if you will, right? It's very important that that tone is kind of set. And for both of you being a competitor at one point in time here within the world of Rocket League, going into a third day, what are the goals, I guess, mentally that you feel like you set for yourself to make sure you don't break at any point?
The first thing for North American teams, at least, they needed to get good sleep last night, right? Because if you're playing early and you're tired, then you could wind up losing games 1 and 2, and then you're basically out of it, right?
Yeah.
So you have to have that right mentality going into the very first game, be wide awake at that point.
Yeah, and it's all about being adaptable in games as well. I think PSG is one of the teams that does it the best. They have the in-game leader. They talk about Farah all the time. Every single team needs to have somebody who can step up, and even if somebody doesn't get enough sleep, they can lead, take charge, and encourage others, A lot in speed do it well. They bounce back off each other, and needing somebody who can be a presence in that communication is so important.
And, again, not competing within the world of Rocket League, but one thing for me when it comes down to the world of, competitive gaming and championship days is the difference of learning to play to win or playing not to lose. And it feels like the final day, so many rosters playing not to lose. You never want to let that go. And so going to be keeping an eye on that here today. But we're going to waste no more time here. It's time to set our focus on to our first series at hand. It is a juicy one here. It is the Bricks up against Barcelona. And again, Barcelona has not been the consistent performer here at Valencia.
And that's exactly what happened on day 1. This is a rare rematch that we get for DreamHack, where Barcelona got perfectly swept by the Bricks on day 1. Yeah. But then Barcelona bounced back, right? On day 2, they looked much better. And on the other side, the Bricks kind of struggled on day 2.
And Barcelona on stage have not been the best, even in the past month or so. Yeah. It feels like they just needed some kind of energy. Getting a win yesterday on stage, I felt is so important for them and them mentally, because Devo getting demo plays, going for extra plays in that field and trying to, push boundaries instead of just focusing so hard on getting goals.
The one thing for me when looking at this matchup is we already talked about both of these teams haven't always been the same team in each game, maybe even in every day. But when I think about the highest of highs or maybe the lowest of lows, I feel like Barcelona is the roster who has that peak, whereas maybe their low is maybe a bit lower than that of the Bricks, but is that peak enough to be able to rely on?
It's possible, but it's hard to tell because Barcelona's low was against the Bricks, right? So the Bricks maybe have their number, but it should be interesting because I feel like the support system of Barcelona, they can go back and watch that tape and figure out what went wrong. With the Bricks, there really is no support system. It's just those three guys.
Yeah, Barcelona coming in, they know their mistakes, they've seen it so many times, they're trying so hard to pursue something that everybody has been giving them expectations, and they've been falling so short on them lately. And DreamHack, they've done it before. This is what started their career, honestly, as a team, was getting a huge spike in performance at DreamHack.
Yeah, DreamHack Leipzig was phenomenal for them, but this hometown crowd is going to get behind these guys, and they got to ride that momentum.
And the one thing here, as we transfer over to the other side, but with Barcelona, is Alpha at the very end there. That's a guy that normally we look at to be that playmaker for this roster. I feel like he's been quiet here on the final day. I want to see him be able to step up.
That's kind of a good sign, though, because you want Bluey and Devo getting involved, and Alpha can at any moment pop off. And on the other side, obviously, the Bricks know how to pop off. Speeding a lot, they will pop off and hurt Cook's ears, that's for sure. But if you want to talk about waking up, you want Speeding a lot on your left and right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cook's here probably just going to look to his teammates and scream at them at one point in time if he's getting a little bit frustrated. But it energizes him up. You don't really see Cook's here all the time, pop off. He started out quiet in the scene, and then all of a sudden he's exploded into this vocal player and a man who's been so solo individualistic up on the field, but now he's coming through with a teammate. Finally, we've never seen him in a duo. How will he perform here?
And so much experience, too, because obviously Cook's here, like he's a world champion. A lot's been to a grand finals before. Speed won WSOE with Cook's here. A lot of experience here.
Yeah, and down there at the stage, you see a lot already throwing out the banter, a lot of smiles coming out, and that's a really good tone setter for this roster here coming in to our third day. But now it is time for the predictions. Barcelona or the Bricks, guys. 1 to 2 lines of justification here because Championship Sunday, there's a lot to be said.
I'm going to bet on that support system of Barcelona. Like, I feel like that they have their coach, and they just have everyone from Barcelona here to help support them from the crowd. Plus behind the scenes, I feel like just so much support. I think that helps Barcelona just barely edge out the Bricks here.
For me, I'm going to go with the Bricks because a lot is fighting for a spot on this roster. It means so much more, in my opinion, for a lot and the Bricks right now. And I know what I'm going to get out of them. I don't know what I'm going to get out of Barcelona. It's a mixed bag. It's like rolling a dice. I don't know which kind of Barcelona I'm going to see day 1 or day 2. I got to go with the Bricks.
Yeah, and for me, pretty much as you just put, and as I was talking about with the highs versus the lows, right, is do I want to remain in that middle of the pack, or am I willing to take the roller coaster that feels like it is Barcelona? And I'm along for the ride. I'm in Spain, boys. Like, let's get going here. I'm on the side of Barcelona, and I'm excited to see what they have here. I think no matter what, this is going to be a pretty interesting series to watch it unfold.
It's going to be crazy because day 1 they obviously played, but these two teams are completely different on day 3, and that's what Rocket League's all about. Every day these teams will change, and we'll see who did adapt more.
Yeah, I mean, a lot. We saw it in the interview. He wants a spot on that roster so badly, and it's actually pretty close.
Extremely close there, especially for as big of an Oregon sponsorship of that of Barcelona.
Yeah.
I am surprised to see the Bricks holding such a torch here to them.
I thought Cook's here might take it, actually, with the Bricks. Like, everyone in Rocket League loves him, and with a lot in speed, you have to love that hype. Very, very